Welcome to Ruby's Talk Show. Ruby's Talk Show aims to highlight the amazing initiatives of women, men, and children who are working tirelessly for a better future. In our episode 2, the theme is Emotional Wellness with Dynamic Women Leaders. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for the guest speakers of today's show. Titia Niehorster, who is a health and wellness coach all the way from Netherlands. Zalina Wälchli, CEO of Zalina Swiss Organic Premium Skinfood, Switzerland. Sunita Banjade, founder, Global Empowered Women from Myanmar. Welcome everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to Ruby's Talk Show. In this world of artificial intelligence, we need to use emotional intelligence a bit more today. Definitely today, it's the need of the hour. When someone has an accident or he is diagnosed with some kind of sickness, he starts taking medicine for that. People sympathize with the person, oh, she's sick, oh, he's not feeling well. When someone is low emotionally, he or she doesn't feel like doing anything. He or she has no superficial wounds to show that he's not well, or she has no proof to tell that something is not okay. What do you do? The question is, what do you do? Because you have no way to prove that you're not feeling well still when something is not well, and only you are aware of it. Doctors have medicine to cure a disease, but no one, believe me, no one really has a cure to heal your mental state of mind. You are your own doctor. Only you can help yourself evolve stronger. Today, we have an amazing panel of women leaders who are doing something amazing across the world to help and heal people in their networks. They are going to be sharing their own experiences and their stories to help you heal and become a better person. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and welcome our very first guest, Titia Niehorster, health and wellness coach, all the way from Netherlands. Welcome, Trisha.
Hi, Ruby. Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you very well, loud and clear.
Okay, I can't hear you for some reason.
Oh, okay. Were you
Can
able
you
to
hear me
hear?
okay?
Yes, yes, I hear you very well.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'll quickly introduce myself and hopefully the sound issues will be resolved very soon.
Okay,
Thank you
great.
so much for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here. I'm a global health and wellness coach based in
Mhm.
the Netherlands. I'm also the host of a LinkedIn live show, the Balance and Empathy Show. A mom of 6, an anti-bully advocate, and also a humanitarian together with you at GTA. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Same here, same here. Welcome to the show. Can you hear me now? I just asked the question on YouTube if people can hear us, if someone could write so that we know that we are audible. Okay, let's see. Let's see. If no one is saying anything, I guess they are able to hear us. Can you hear me now, Tisha?
I still can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Okay. Let's welcome our second guest on the panel. And she is none other than a very good friend of mine, Zalina Wälchli, CEO of Zalina Swiss Organic Premium Skinfood, all the way from Switzerland. Welcome to the show, Zalina.
Thank you, Ruby. Thanks so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear
Yeah.
you very well. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Loud and clear.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, so sorry, it is your. Okay. So today I just want to say thank you so much to be in this beautiful space with dynamic women sharing worldwide wellness, and I think it's our birthright to do it. So quickly introduction about myself. Well,
Mhm.
Ruby already clearly stated who I am, but I'm a mom of two based in Switzerland. And I am also a podcaster. So I'm also in this in this wisdom wellness space.
Mhm.
And I am the CEO and founder of Zalina Swiss Organic, which is a premium skincare, clean beauty, and herbal dietary supplement brand based in Switzerland. And I help women to be empowered, inspired, and to educate them on holistic health, beauty, wealth, and wellness, and to unlock the keys to natural living, to live
Mhm.
longer and achieve longevity, of course. So
Great.
that's where I am, and I'm happy to be here today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Warm welcome to you. And now let's put our hands together for the last panelist, Sunita Banjade. Sunita, she's the founder of Global Empowered Women, all the way from Myanmar. Welcome, Sunita. Sunita, can you hear us? Hi,
Thank you.
Sunita.
Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Sunita, we hear
Hello.
you very well. Yes.
Thank you.
I would kindly
Thank you so
request you to
much.
introduce yourself.
It's so lovely to have to be a part of this show, and I'm really grateful to see all the wonderful women here. Okay. Yeah, I am empowered woman founder. I won't really want to talk long about myself, and I think that would be enough. And I'm also an international speaker, so I'm really excited to be here and sharing this emotional wellness topic with all the wonderful women here.
Thank you, Sunita, so much. Warm welcome to all of you to this amazing panel discussion on emotional wellness with great dynamic women leaders.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I hear you very well, Sunita. So let's begin. Now that you all are here,
Hello,
yes, Sunita, I hear you very well. So, my very first question to all of you, all the panelists, it's
hello.
an open question. Anyone can take the question is what exactly is emotional wellness for you? And why do you think it is necessary? Tisha, if you want to start, yes.
Sure, I can start. For me personally, emotional wellness, it's very important feeling content with who you are,
Mhm.
feeling at peace with yourself, feeling that you are worthy every day. So it really comes down to having self acceptance and also being in a place where you're taking good care of yourself, because once you do that, then also you can take care of others. And it also results from that you can be very happy for others and their successes that they reach, where you're able to enjoy this beautiful life that you're leading.
Perfect, perfect. What about you, Zelina? What do you think it's emotional wellness for you?
Oh, well, very similar to what Titia said. I do believe that it is an awareness and understanding and acceptance of who you truly are, your self worth, and being in a comfortable space. And that feeling that you have, knowing that you are enough, will transcend to others, and that energy that you give off. There are many dimensions to emotional wellness, being in a
Mhm.
state that one that is connected deeply to your spiritual, your physical, your mental, environmental, spiritual, intellectual. I said spiritual, intellectual, and all of this combined will help you to be in a good state and to face the challenges that comes to you, whether it is big challenges or small challenges, and being in that space of comfort and in harmony with yourself. That's in me in a nutshell.
Very well said. Being in harmony with yourself. And that's what we often forget. We know what is emotions, we know what is wellness when they are separate. But when we think of the term together, we tend to most of the times forget that it can go well, very well together. It's just us that we need to think and make it a part and parcel of our life. All right, Sunita. Okay, I guess Sunita is really facing some glitches because off and on she's coming and going. Anyways, as we say, the show must go on. So when she's back, we'll add her to the stream once again. So now I would really like to ask you, Zelina, as a wellness coach, tell me something bit more about how you have been helping people in your networks. What exactly you are doing in this wellness zone to make others feel that they are wow.
Yeah, it is quite a challenging field. And given the current situation, the global crisis, this area has become so huge, and there's so many people affected in their emotional state. And to be really in that space of harmony and peace and happiness. So, as a coach, a practitioner in the field, the clients that come to me, I give them my utmost attention. And I think being able to listen to your client, or even if it's someone, a member of your family, a friend, anyone in need of your service, being that active listener is so important and will help them to deal with what they are facing, whether it's trauma, it's grief, whether there is a breakup, divorce in their life, or there is a job loss, many areas of their lives, and really bringing them into balance and finding out exactly how they feel. Feelings are so, so important. It's okay to feel unhappy. These are our emotions. Emotions are not meant to be suppressed. We should let it out. And having that person, that coach or practitioner in the field, whether it's a doctor, a psychologist, a therapist, to go and listen, feel that person, feel what that person is feeling is so, so important. Either. Oh no.
It is important. It is very, very important how people deal with small states. Sometimes we know what is happening, we take control over it. Like some time ago, Tisha was not able to hear us. She said, okay, let me listen to my mind. I log out, I log in, and now everything is okay. I see a big smile on
Yeah.
her face.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure there for a minute, but yeah, just being that active listener to the person who really needs this, because I've had my own experience, my depressive moments during the early stages of my breakup. That's a very personal story I don't really share, but I needed to at some point, and that experience in itself helped me so much to feel for others. I learned to be more empathetic, more compassionate, more loving, more kind, and not self centered. But when you listen to that person, you can uplift them in whatever way you can. And it's so joyful when the person opens up to face the challenge and said, okay, let's start now. I'm ready to make that change in my life. And that's where it all starts. And it's small changes that will take you to the next level to address the issues. No point holding and sitting on it. Go there, wherever you are in the world right now, where if you're listening to this, find someone. It doesn't have to be a village. If you can talk to one person, it is important.
It's
Yeah.
really important to speak, and that's what happens when we are in the state of not being okay. We are always scared. We always think, what are people going to say? Because sometimes we feel embarrassed, sometimes we feel little upset, sometimes we don't even know what to do. Like something is not okay, we all can decipher that. But how to help ourselves, whether to discuss, not discuss, we are in a state of dilemma. And I think it's there we need people like you, we need people like Tisha to help and speak out. That's the very first thing that people should do when they're in that state of confusion. They need to speak and discuss, which unfortunately people don't do.
No, I
Let's face
agree.
it.
I agree. I think there's still on some topics when people don't want to talk about. There's still a lot of stigma there and
Hmm.
shame,
Hmm.
which can play a big
Yeah.
role in someone opening up or not. But in my experience, when you do open up about something,
Hmm.
usually you find that you're not alone in this.
Hmm.
That actually
Hmm.
many
True.
people around you can relate to this, have some experience in dealing with this, and can actually help you. And like Selena said, I agree 100%. Even if it's one person,
Hmm.
that's enough, for you to experience, to share, to open up, and to really feel better that you're not alone. And
Hmm.
that way we can help each other.
Sure, very well said. Sunita, would you like to add on something to what Tisha and Zalina just mentioned? Is there anything that you would like to say? I think, Sunita, can you hear us? When I see her moving, I think that it's okay, but I guess because of the glitch, she's not able to hear very well. Okay, so moving on, I just want to know a little bit more. When people are in that state of dilemma, they're not sure what to say or how to say. What have you been doing for emotional wellness for yourself? Can you share your own experiences? Like, we call you a leader, we call you a person to, the people who are suffering, they should contact. What have you been doing for emotional wellness personally? Can you share with us?
Yes, absolutely. Well, like I said previous, I think before you can help anyone, it's very important to take care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
first, to start there.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do so, you set an example for your environment. If
Yeah.
you have children, you show your children it's important to take care of yourself. I think that's key.
Mm-hmm.
And like some habits I try to do is to eat healthy, because you need to take care of your body, because that
Mm-hmm.
also affects your emotional health and wellness. And that way, I've been helping globally people to upgrade their health, which can prevent many complaints and suffering. And it also really affects like your brain function, your energy level,
Mm-hmm.
which if you have good energy levels in your body, it makes you feel better, right? If you have a good brain function, it makes sure you can remember things, it makes sure you can focus,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have brain fog, so these are things that add to your emotional wellness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But besides actual food, I think it's also key to really mind your spiritual food that you
Mm-hmm.
take in.
Very
So
well said. Very well
yeah,
said.
so what I don't do, I don't often watch the news. And I'm very curious what you guys do, because in my experience, I turn on the news and it's a lot of, scarcity, fear, negativity, war here, things going on there. And it doesn't make me feel good or happy. So I try to tune that down to like once a week. So
Uh-huh.
that I'm updated, but I'm not consuming that on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And and besides that, I think three key habits we all need to practice every day is practice gratitude. That's very important in your emotional health and wellness. Also, laugh every day, have joy, enjoy your life, make a joke with someone, remember fun times with the people you're around. I think that helps. And also help someone, try to help someone every day,
Mm-hmm.
selfishly, without terms or having to get something back for that. Because when you help someone, it helps that person and you feel good too. So it lifts yourself up as well. So I think these three key habits I try to practice every day too.
I tried to write what you said: practice gratitude, help someone every day. And what was the third one? I wanted to write so that people can follow.
Yes, have laughter in your life, have joy in your life. Yes.
Ah, add laughter. That's very, very important. Add laughter and joy, because in order
Yeah.
to make others happy, sometimes we
Yeah.
forego that.
Make jokes. Make jokes, right? Very
Very
important.
true. Very
Yes.
true. That's very important, that one has to have that lighter side as well all the time,
Yes.
because when life is not a bed of roses, we all know that. But we
Yeah.
need to make it, like, we need to pluck the rose and get it. There are thorns, but we need to put
Exactly.
the roses in our bed. Like, I remember when I was a little girl, And when we had Valentine's Day, I would see some girls walking with roses and saying, "Oh, I received this, I received that," and stuff like that. So I thought, if I'm not receiving any roses, why don't I buy for myself and feel good?
Good for you.
Yes.
So when I did that, I felt so good. I was holding a bouquet, others were holding one rose, and I had a bouquet in my hand, and I felt so empowered. It was a silly act, but it brought so much joy to me. And then I said, like, when there is a door that is closed on you, we
Yeah,
need to create our own door so that we
absolutely.
make our presence felt. That is important. And
Yes.
that's what something happens, when we are not happy or when we are embarrassed, we just keep quiet. But I guess with people, when people are talking more and more about these kind of things, I'm sure people will relate to it. A lot of people who are going to watch us, a lot of people who are watching us, they will relate to it by understanding that yes, it does happen. When we are embarrassed, it's only us who are sulking in a corner. But when we are happy, we share it with the world that we are happy. So why not have that happiness consistently?
Absolutely.
Zalina, what do you think?
Exactly. Well, I love I love life completely. Whether it's good, the bad stuff is coming or the good stuff, I
Uh-huh.
embrace it all. And I really try my best to help others,
Hmm.
not just to do the same, because to each his own, everyone is different, and to take things in stride. And really it's about adapting to the things that you're surrounded, by, especially nature.
Hmm.
And that has been a very crucial part of my life and my absolute well being where I am today. And I encourage you out there to take the time, even if you don't have the huge space that I have. As I step out my door, I can walk in the forest, I can walk, go to the lake, wherever, climb mountains. If you don't have that, just the smallest space of nature and walking bare feet in nature. Actually, it really, there are some neurotransmitters. There are neurotransmitters at the base of your feet that connects those, the endorphins that release in your brain. The neurotransmitters send out those endorphins. And if you can do this every day of your life,
Hmm.
well, you're going to have a boost of good energy every single day you wake up, because you're looking forward to something.
Hmm.
There's a saying, do something that makes you want to jump out of bed
Hmm.
every
Hmm.
single day. Well,
True.
that's the one thing that I want to jump out to. Even if it's winter
Hmm.
and it's snowing, it's still okay. You don't have to stay that long. So that's one great thing I love, and I hope others can practice it.
Hmm.
Secondly, your physical well-being or physical wellness. And
Hmm.
Titia spoke about this, eating nutritious food. And it's really what you absorb and when. That
Hmm.
makes a huge difference in your life.
Hmm.
If you don't have the other parts of your life, your mental, I would say, mental check in
Hmm.
place, your
Hmm.
financial check, the your spiritual check, you can eat all the great foods that's on your plate, your food plate.
Hmm.
Nothing is gonna change for you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Everything is well connected, and there is a connection to the foods that you eat. As a health coach, I love this space and I love healthy eating, and hence the reason why I created a brand as well in herbal supplements.
Hmm.
What do you put inside connects. It connects the gut,
Hmm.
brain, heart, these three areas of your body.
Hmm. Hmm.
They're well connected. If you put something really absurd in your digestive tract, it
Hmm.
triggers the wrong neurotransmitters. And for the most part, a lot of people they think they're eating the right foods, and then
Hmm.
they have high levels of cortisol, and
Hmm.
that's in stress mode. So when you're in stress mode, other thing, you're going to fight and flight. And I don't want to go into all the scientific biological details,
True.
but we all know this. We here in this space. So what happens to you? You cramp up, you're tense, and it affects your emotional well-being. And
Hmm.
as a result of that, it affects your environment, it affects your family life if you're with your kids. there's a chain reaction. You're snap at your kids, you're unhappy with yourself because your kids become really like antsy with you. So
True.
everything it's this whole it's wholeness. So
Okay.
connecting to the facets, as I said, is really
Mm-hmm.
important. So there you go, your physical, your nutrition, and the spiritual aspect. I learned this from very young and very early on in life.
Mm-hmm.
From a Hindu background, Ayurvedic. So I learned quite a bit of the rituals, but not aligning any religious aspect to it. It's just purely spiritual.
Uh-huh.
And practicing as a also a yoga meditation instructor, I
Mm-hmm.
learned the science behind it a couple of years ago. And I found it to be so powerful.
Okay.
Just being connected to the spirit, body, and mind is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. At
Mm-hmm.
first, it may seem alien to many people to sit in a one position like this and just close your eyes, but take 5 minutes. Start
Mm-hmm.
with 5 minutes. I give yourself 5 minutes. And if you can sit 5 minutes and this week, next week, add 1 minute to it. And this
Mm-hmm.
is something you can increment, small changes, it's
True.
incremental, and that becomes your habit. So
Mm-hmm.
yoga, meditation, these practices have been for centuries, thousands of years, 5,000 years is ancient wisdom. And those people back then, they lived such a joyful, happy life. And I was surrounded by, I would say, centenarians growing up in a little island.
Mm-hmm.
They're over 110 years old. They were like smiling like this all the time with all the absurdities of the environment. So I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to like step back a bit, pause, relax, and become present.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Present. Life is just by the way. We don't want to live a life that's by the way. We want to live a life that's purposeful, and
True.
of course, and living our true purpose to serve others. Of
True.
course,
Mm-hmm.
that's me. I'm passionate about it, and I believe that when I can impact one life, that person can go on and impact someone else, and I feel that's so powerful. But this year said a lot, and I don't want to repeat and make it
Yeah.
too verbose. So I know the spiritual yoga, the meditation, the being present. Oh, one more. Journaling is, I know it's very ancient, it's something like really ancient and a
Mm-hmm.
bit dated. But if you get in the habit of journaling, even writing the things like the changes that you made in your life, your daily, you want to make a change and you don't know how because your emotions are whole like this. You got fear in one hand, you got
Mm-hmm.
courage in one hand, but we can use both
Uh-huh.
to forge ahead in life. We can hold the fear, say,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's an emotion, and I can still hold the courage in this hand and forge ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
journaling will help you to identify those thoughts, your thoughts, the things that we think about every single day, that becomes your reality. So
Mm-hmm.
list it, write it down. And when you list this and write it down, then you can see, oh my, I have progress. I'm no
Mm-hmm.
longer in the space of this negative thinking and my emotions, the level, it's becoming happier and happier. I feel better. And
True.
when you see this, it's actually that's your black and white, it's your blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it for years. There's some breaks. I don't do it regularly, every single religiously. But
Mm-hmm.
if you can adapt this in your daily rituals, I've seen it with my clients, and I tell you, it's so impactful. They present their full journal to me, and I'm so like, wow,
Wow.
you actually present your journal to me, and I felt it that's private. And
True.
sometimes I had read it, and then I put notes on it, and I think it's so this exchange because they don't want to talk to people on the outside. But if you have this beautiful conversation with a person they trust,
Mm-hmm.
it makes their life so much easier, and they can embrace this space of being emotionally well. That's
Mm-hmm.
when.
Mm-hmm. Wow, very, very well said. I think Zalina, I am sure audience is resonating with. I guess every bit of what you just said. It is important, when we are in this state of mind. Sometimes we feel, oh my God, they're like a bear, like, yeah, they're just bearing their soul in front of you. But when they're doing it, they are doing it because they trust you. They are
Yeah.
doing it because they feel lighter, which they are not able to share with other people. So I think just by speaking out, the therapy has started, because sometimes such people who are having such kind of mental, I would not call them mental issues, I will call that mental imbalance. When they are kind of not comfortable with what needs to be done and how it needs to be done, they are kind of not assured that this is the right moment or not. So I'm sure, like, when people like you, Tisha, Sunita, are listening to such people or talking to such people, you have already started making them feel better because of how you are listening to them. One, like, they need a ear to listen, and second, by bearing their soul, they feel that there is someone who is going to provide some solace, some medicine, so that they feel better. Moving on to Tisha. Tisha, I have been admiring your show. I just
Oh,
admire how you bring up
thank you.
balance and empathy show on LinkedIn. I would really like to know how this concept just came in. By the way, I had the pleasure of being one of the guests at the show and I just loved it. But I was very curious. At that time, I didn't ask this question to you, but now I would like to ask the questions, and I'm sure audience would like to know as well how this journey started of balance and empathy, which is a must, really, really a must in
Yeah.
today's world.
Oh, thank you so much, Ruby. We loved having you on the show. It was really amazing, and we love having you back in the near future. We're actually having a little bit of a summer break now, but we will start at the end of the summer again. So
Mm-hmm.
stay tuned. So it actually started together with Rena Striel, good friend of mine, and Ashok. And we talked about how important it is to have balance in your life
Mm-hmm.
in all kinds of areas, right? In your health, in your work life, in relationship, having a healthy balance
Mm-hmm.
where you are a big part of it, but also the other person. A balance between your individual needs and the collective needs. That's very key.
Mm-hmm.
Empathy, empathy, this plays such an important role in relationships. We all play different parts in life, right? We are brothers, we are parents, siblings, we are colleagues, in the place we work at. So, empathy in those roles and having more compassion and understanding for people
Mm-hmm.
will help and is key into developing these relationships, getting them to a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you watch globally, if you have more empathy, you have less conflict, you have more understanding, you have more love in the world, more compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And empathy contributes to all of this. And
Mm-hmm.
so these two elements are basically the center of our show.
Mm-hmm.
And then we always talk about a topic related to balance and or empathy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so first it started out as the three of us with Rena and Ashok. And Ashok is the founder of the Empathy Clinic in
Yeah.
Canada. He is
Mm-hmm.
a psychiatrist. Rena Strill is also a global health and wellness coach like me. But now it's just me and Ashok, but we have amazing guests on like yourself and many more amazing people who have such a good contribution to
Mm-hmm.
these topics. And it's just been such an amazing journey because we've been getting so much positive responsive from the people
Mm-hmm.
globally, because I think no matter where you are, we all face the same challenges, of life in these different roles that we play out in this life.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, anyone can relate to these topics. Everyone has a workplace, most people. We
Mm-hmm.
all have a family, we all have a partner, or not anymore, or, so everyone really can relate to these topics. And what I like is that it really brings people together, and that's what I post a lot about. I post so much about unity for
Mm-hmm.
humanity because I think that's so important. No matter where you are, I think we are all equal. Like
True.
no matter which country, no matter which religion. For me, that's not important. I think we're all one,
Mm-hmm.
and the show really contributes into bringing above that unity and striving for
Mm-hmm.
more unity on humanity. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Very well said. Very well said. I remember I had a great blast being on the show. The
Thank
way
you.
you and Ashok, put the screen on like the empathy, emotional intelligence, and that's my area of expertise as well. So
Yes.
I felt that it was not a show or we were not live. We were having a discussion in a drawing room. I felt like that. We were all sitting facing each other, even though we were all on a virtual platform, but the discussion was so easy and so relatable that I
Yeah.
felt like, wow, everyone feels this, everyone goes through this. Sometimes we find a solution, and sometimes we are still going in circles.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And we do it live like and the fun part about live, well, sometimes you face technical difficulties too.
Yeah.
I've been out of my own show at one time, having cracking internet, but that's okay. Then Esho carried the show on, and I got back later. But that's the fun of doing it live.
Hmm.
But you get comments, right, from the audience. The audience has the opportunity to ask questions, to put in comments. You
Hmm.
can instantly relate and answer those questions the best way you can.
Very true. Very true.
Also, by the guests you invite, the experts that we invite on the show, like yourself, an expert on emotional intelligence, very important in the world. So, and it doesn't have much of a script, the show, but we like it that way. It is each time it is this natural conversation
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
flows, and I'm surprised every time how it goes and how it flows, and it's just so really amazing and fun to do, and I just love how much the response that we're getting. I didn't expect it at first, but it's
Hmm.
been so amazing. Like the audience really loves it, and they're asking me, "Can you come on more, more often?" And when are you coming live again? I'm getting these messages of people, so they really like it, and well, that makes me very happy. Because we try to contribute
True.
this way, put some more good out in the world, because
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think that's so needed, right?
And let's not forget, Tisha, that you are a LinkedIn influencer. You have such a huge following on LinkedIn. So when your show is coming up, people just want to see what next,
Yeah.
what is coming up. And I think that adds on, when you are having the responsibility of an influencer, when you are having a responsibility of a social leader,
Mhm.
it's not just for fun's sake. It's not just for the number of likes you get or number of audience you have.
Yeah.
It's like the impact you are creating.
Oh, I don't.
Sometimes the impact is slow. Come on. Sorry, you were saying something?
I don't care about the number of likes, really. So that's
True.
not important. I think, like
Mhm.
Selena said, if you impact one person, I'm
Mhm.
happy.
Very true.
So and yeah, I do. I have this global audience. I have around 625,000 followers on
Hmm.
LinkedIn. That is,
Hmm.
so that's my main platform. And I try to use it for good,
True.
to inspire people and to
Hmm.
motivate people, because well, we've been facing some hard times, let's face it, the last couple of years. It's not been easy
Hmm.
life here in the pandemic.
Very true.
Yeah, and so I think everyone needs that daily dose of motivation, that
Hmm.
little pep talk, that puts a smile on your face, that gives you the force and the power to make something of your day.
True. True.
That's what I try to use it for.
Very true, very true. No, I completely understand. When we are talking about influencers or when we're talking about a social responsibility, one has to take it seriously because
Yeah.
people are listening to you, people are getting an inspiration from you. So if you say some word which is wow or which is something having a great impact, they will just follow you. Oh, Tisha said that or Zalina said that, so they relate to those kind of things. And that's, I think, very, very important. But at the same time, even if you're an influencer, even if you are a celebrity or something, there are some moments which we all go through which are not so rosy or which are not so
Absolutely.
wow. you know
Yeah.
we have our ups and downs as well. So now I would like to ask you, can you share with our audience an incident in your life where you were emotionally drained? You went through a lot of roller coaster of do's and don'ts, and you were kind of uncomfortable. And how do you deal with it? And I mean, you can choose to say a part of it or whatever. You don't have to relate completely or say names. But why I'm saying this, because people look to you as, wow, she's up there. She is untouchable. Nothing can go wrong with her. Nothing can be like crazy with her. So that's why I want you to share your story and how you dealt with it. How did you overcome that situation?
Oh, I think that's so fantastic that you're saying this, Ruby, because we all see these Facebook fantastic lives, right? If you're scrolling,
Yeah.
but like you said, everyone has things in their life. So I'm supposing even the Queen of England has topics that she faces that are not that easy. Then you might be the Queen, but you still have your issues, right? So
True.
everyone, and for that sense, I'd also like to say, I think everyone is equal. All souls are equally heavy in that
Mm-hmm.
sense. So it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if you are an influencer or not. Sometimes you don't. It seems shining on the outside,
True.
but you never know really what someone is going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually really good at, putting on that mask and showing everyone I'm fine, nothing is wrong. While actually on the inside, something is going on. So keeping up those appearances,
Mm-hmm.
do that excellently. But at the same time, that can be such a trap, you know, because it's like Selena also said, and like you said, Ruby, if you're facing something, it's so important to talk about it with people that you trust, even if it's one person,
Mm-hmm.
and well, remembering a time in my life, well, I got divorced, and I don't want to go into that too much, but that in the past, right? But that was not an easy period, and I had 3 kids at that time, and what I did was I just went on and on, I kept on working, kept on smiling, kept on doing every daily thing by myself. I found help for the children if they wanted to talk about something. But yeah, I put myself on the last place.
Mm-hmm.
And then once things settled down, I got hit with this emotional, how do you say that? Blast, right? These
Mm-hmm.
emotional hits. I really started feeling so tired, like I had been suppressing everything up until the moment that it settled down, and then everything came rising to the surface, right? And that's when I really learned, you shouldn't be suppressing these emotions. You shouldn't be putting them down and putting yourself in the last place.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take care of yourself. You have children, and there's no shame in needing help.
Mm-hmm.
But this keeping up appearances can be such a strong quality that people have, and with me that's very strong. So I always need to check in with myself going through hard times. Make sure you set your boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
take care of yourself. And yeah, and sometimes that means saying no to people, and it's not always easy saying
True.
no, but
Mm-hmm.
I tell my people too, the people I work with, if I ask them something to do, no is also an answer.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine too. If you don't have the time, it's fine. We'll work out another solution. But yeah, you need to walk the talk, right? So I need to do that myself too. So that was a key learning point for me.
Very well said, Marina. I think, Tisha, because when you said Marina wrote at the same time, there's a question coming up already. Let me just show it on the screen. Please ask our panelists, technology has been a blessing to humanity, but do they agree that it has also has made us very dissatisfied with our lives too? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Who would like to take that question?
Yes, absolutely. I think while it's a blessing, I'm a tech geek. That was my field. And I think it has even scared me at some point
Mm-hmm.
or in a business because I use a lot of technology, but I know it has affected my family life with
Mm-hmm.
the kids as well. And there is something called fear of missing out, FOMO. A lot of us are scrolling through our social media and we compare ourselves. And this is where this whole not feeling good enough
Mm-hmm.
during the last couple of years of the upswing of social media,
Mm-hmm.
and we are not focusing on what's real anymore. And I'm not saying this is for everyone because the teacher, she's like, stepped away from the the news, just like myself. I don't own a television anymore.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, I dumped my television. Something went wrong and I put it out and I never got one. But I'm
Yeah.
okay Sometimes we realize that we need certain things in our life to make us happy, but happiness is not external, it's
Mm-hmm.
internal. We know that this has been preached for too long in the last couple of
Very well
years.
said. True,
So
true.
I think we ought to know what happiness really is. So it ties into that. What is important to us? Technology, yes, it's a good thing because we wouldn't be here without technology. And I'm
Very
so
true.
grateful that technology has offered us the world, the connection. It is in our home, in our lives. It allows us to even heal each other across the globe like this.
Yes.
As therapists or healers, we can do this online now. Before we had so many setbacks that we couldn't do this. So it opened up many doors as well as the downside. And I offer this in my trainings as well, how to detox
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from the technology. Put your phones away for at least a week. I have a problem doing it. I
True.
do. I can say this with not telling a lie or anything. Speak the truth.
Mm-hmm.
All have this issue. It became so. I thought I'm saying it's uncontrollable.
True. True.
But we need to find that time within ourselves to say, okay, give myself 1 hour
Mm-hmm.
today, fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, I'm not on it on social media. To give yourself breaks, give
True.
time
True.
out, step away from it. It's okay. It's okay. You wouldn't miss anything. Fear of missing out is an overused term as well. And we don't need to look like no one else but ourselves. Even with our deepest flaws, it's okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. No one is gonna judge you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think
Um,
Tisha already said that very clearly when she mentioned I'm very good at camouflaging. You know, I had to talk a little bit more about what Tisha related her story, but the same time Marina wrote, so I was like, kind of a bit distracted because I'm managing it myself. I don't have someone to manage it for me today.
yeah.
So I completely agree to what Tisha you mentioned that you have to camouflage, especially when you are in the limelight, when you are the spotlight is on you. Even if something is going bad, even something is kind of making you feel uncomfortable, you have to have that smile that everything is okay. You can do that, because the show must go on, as we said. But
Yeah.
sometimes I'm sure I mean, it's also a debatable thing. Maybe we can have another session where we say, is it okay to show your emotions? Is it okay to be not okay at times? So these are some of the things which come and go, but you have to make a decision on your own whether it's fine or not fine. And I completely agree with most of the things that you said, that it is true. One has to camouflage, but when the right time comes, then probably you can share and work on it. But when you are on the spotlight, you have to put that plastic face and move on.
No, yeah, I completely agree. You have to, emotions are not bad. They're part of life, and here we often have this duality, right? We have
True.
love, we have fear on the other side, and and you face both of them. It's yin yang, right?
Hmm.
That's life, that is the life
True.
that we are living. And so these negative emotions, they're part of life too.
Hmm.
And what I've learned, and it's still difficult, so actually I am still learning, I am not done yet.
Hmm.
That is that you have to embrace also these negative emotions, because once you do, they are actually the best opportunity for you to learn something
Hmm.
of them, right?
Hmm.
And to grow after that, to really understand, to have even more empathy for other people,
Hmm.
because the best way you learn in life is through experience.
Very well said. Very well said. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm completely I'm completely in sync, I would say, with what you are saying, because sometimes what happens is we are not very clear. We are not very, comfortable with how things are going on. Sometimes we share our story and sometimes we keep it back to ourselves.
Mm.
So yes, we have to find the right kind of balance so that people can make us feel comfortable, like when we are going through our lows, they are there for us. And it's during those times, when we are having a rough phase in life, only people who stand with us, we have a clearer idea, we start seeing better that okay, they are the ones who are with us in the rough weather. because
Yes.
when we have parties going on, everyone is there partying with you, but when the party is over, it's the reality. It's then you come to know that, okay, she's there with me or he's there with me, and that they are the ones who are going to last longer. So that's
I
that's
think
another thing.
absolutely. That actually reminds me. I think Oprah Winfrey said this at one time. If you are wealthy, you have all these friends right around you. But when all the wealth is gone, who is with you to ride on your bike home or to take the bus at your home, right? Those,
Very well
those,
said.
those are your real friends. Yeah, that was a lot of wisdom from Oprah Winfrey.
Those are your real friends who are gonna stand with you,
Yes,
even when the rain is there and you don't have a roof on your head. They are gonna chill with you and say, let's have something warm to keep each other warm with the company.
absolutely.
So, okay, moving on to you, Zalina. Please share with us a story, a incident where you were drained yourself and how you overcame that situation.
Wow, I don't like to use the word overcame.
Or you could be still dealing
I
with
would
it.
say
We don't have
embrace
to
or
have.
embrace. Yeah, I embraced it. It was a couple of years ago, going through my divorce, which hit me by surprise.
Hmm.
And that was the most difficult phase of my life. I always thought life was everything was so-called perfect with a beautiful family, mountain trips, everything. But when it happened actually to me for me, and it allowed me to grow internally and to do a lot of self-reflections
Hmm.
and to really find myself and to find my true purpose again.
Hmm.
And there are phases in your life where you said, oh, I have found my true purpose, but you can also change it. And I realized this as a young girl growing up in the Caribbean. My purpose was to live the best life in New York City, and I did just that. And
Hmm.
then this transformation of this person again in a divorce, I was so helpless. I think I was depressed. I lost all my friends and family in Switzerland,
Hmm.
and my mom passed away in the process. That was grief. It was traumatic. And going to the funeral and coming back to Switzerland, then my first child was taken away from me. And these are the things that I'm not sure how I actually dealt with it, but I beat up myself so badly.
Hmm.
I didn't feel good again about me. But on the outside, everyone thought I was fine. My social media looked perfect as always.
Hmm.
That created a good image because I love beautiful images as a model. But
Hmm.
I wasn't posting a lot and no more family photos. But dealing with the emotion was so gripping. It was so debilitating. I was actually helpless on the bed for weeks, but there were just a few people left. I would say two. And I spoke about this earlier. If you have one person in your life and who can rally through this difficult phase in your life, you know that person is there for a lifetime.
Hmm.
And these are the two people in Switzerland as well as outside of Switzerland, which was phone calls to keep me alive and going. But I think that turning point came when I decided no more. And we all have this. It's called resilience. I'm not sure where it comes from, but if you keep doing something over and over and it's not working and you're like in the spiral, you feel like you're in a bottomless pit, you have to find a way to get out of it because you have two choices. And this is where I was faced. This is at that point I was faced with this. Either I continue to fight in a divorce, to fight for my kids. Eventually, the second one was taken. So I was an alienated parent. And as a mom, anyone you can feel that pain when you can no longer see your kids. You sort of like cry blood in a literal sense. You feel like your womb is taken out of you. And that was a state of, I would say, desperation I was in. And no one to talk to, no one to hug me, no one. And I didn't feel good. So, two choices: either I go up or I go down. And I had to think really hard. And I couldn't emphasize this more. If you're in a state of your deepest, darkest hour, Start writing, write your narrative, start writing your story. And that's what I did. And I think I started seeing things that I never saw about myself, like where I was before. I was a successful woman in technology and IT, and I just started seeing this powerful woman again. And I started to grow, I would say, little by little, day by day, and the right people walk into my life. I think the power of presence, the power of connecting to your highest self. I got really deep into spirituality, and I connected to, I'm not sure, the spirit of my mom. She was always a significant part of my life, but she passed away in the process, and I didn't get to say goodbye. So that it was confusion. It was mass confusion. So your emotions are telling you, okay, I'm not going to make it in Switzerland. I'm not going to. I'm going to literally shrivel up and die. I cannot run a business here. Or I got the courage in my hand from this empowered woman from her whole life. You got to do something with this. And that's what I did. I took it day by day, step by step. And as I said, those two people that walked into my life stayed there. They heard all the rubbish from me that came out during my depressive moments, but they accepted it because they knew I wanted to change. And I really did at some point. I had to give up. I gave up the fight in the divorce. I said, no more, no more. This is my time. And then I started to look at myself in the eyes, in the mirror. I couldn't look at myself before. So this is a good way in finding yourself as well. Talk to yourself. We look at everything else around us, but we look at ourselves. So if you take a good look at yourself in the mirror every day, it will give you so much hope. If you are in a down state right now, it would give you so much hope to live and to want and to enjoy the beauty that we are surrounded with. Everywhere is beauty, and we just need to look closer. But the first is to look closer in yourself, and you will see inside of you when you do. Your eyes are your windows to the soul. That saying is not just a proverb. It's real if you know how to harness it. But it takes courage, and with courage comes resilience. With resilience, give you that empowerment to become who you really are. Then you know you're worth it, and you're enough. Each and every one of you out there who are going through the struggle, know that you're enough. Self-love is something that not just about doing the beauty on the outside. I mean, this is from my brand. I help women, but it builds your confidence. But you got to take care of the inside as well as the outside. There's nothing wrong with taking care of your outside. You nourish it. You nourish your inside with good stuff, spirituality, and you take care of the outside. So that's your beautiful self-love, being in connection with who you are, being kind to yourself, being loving, being compassionate. And it's that when you're in this state of harmony with yourself, it transcends. And I repeat it. I think I'm repeating myself in what I said. But it is so true that I can't help, but I have to emphasize it every time. And it also, when I emphasize it, it still empowers me more to know that, okay, today was a bit shitty. And okay, it's okay. It's fine. You can still get over it and embrace the situation for what it is. And always, little by little, day by day, your life will transform. So I use that as my biggest, I would say, hurdle in life ever, to become who I am today and still evolving. And the journey never ends until we take our last breath. And I really want to live a peaceful, joyful life. And with my kids as well. And now things have changed because I manifested. The power of manifestation works. If you believe in it. You got to have belief, and you have to trust yourself. If you do these basic things, it can work. it can work like magic, like everything
Mhm.
else. We said we manifest money, but how about manifesting to be in this good body, this body that I am Zalina. I'm just a spiritual being living a human experience.
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
know. Yeah. But if we can do that for ourselves, we can impact lives. So that's
Very well said. Very well said, Selena. I think I completely agree and resonate with each and every thought of yours. And I have been seeing you through this journey since the time we met. So it's very relatable to what you are saying to some of the women out there who are listening to us. That if we believe in ourselves, any hurdle is possible to be overcome. And of course the journey doesn't end. Like, it's not like one thing, one question, and if you find an answer, you have the keyword, you move on, it's done. No, it's like a lifelong journey. It goes on and on. You have to live with it. Sometimes we find a solution and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're still struggling and we are trying to look in our networks how and what can we do. The 5 W's and the H theory comes into action. So it's very,
yeah,
very important. It's very, very important that first women need to believe in themselves. Women need to believe in themselves. And as you said, talk to yourself,
yeah,
because it's been seen when people are going through mental illness, they
yeah,
don't talk to anyone. They want to have the dark room, curtains drawn, lights off,
yeah,
eat less. Sometimes they start eating more because it's how your body wants. Sometimes you start eating more, start putting on weight. You don't want to see your face because you look horrible. That's because
yeah.
what you're thinking, your mind is reflecting that. You don't
Correct.
like, if I mean, especially for women, it's very important for their I would say, for their growth, to look nice. We women want to look nice. We want to be perfect mom, perfect wife, perfect friend. We want to have all those perfect hats.
Yeah,
But
but in my, I remember from my experience in my culture, if you are having issues like this, like what I've been through, it's a mental disease. It
Mhm,
seems to be you're put away. That if you're going through this debilitating experience of just emotionally all the time, emotions running high all the time,
mhm,
it means that you're mentally ill, which is it's claimed to be an illness, which
mhm,
is so wrong, and not addressing the problem, the root cause of that problem. And
true.
thank God for the openness of technology, social media. We are in a better space, I must say. So
Mhm,
all these old-fashioned taboo about from cultures that we are so socialized to think that if you are in this state, you're mentally ill, you're no good, you're
mhm,
done. And this is real and it's still happening in many.
mhm.
I came from a very close culture.
True,
So
true, true.
yeah,
I think Marina has just answered. Marina has just mentioned that she's touched with your experience, Alina, and also very, very impressed with Tisha, with what you are doing.
yeah,
Take baby steps. We need to
yeah,
take baby steps, because what happens is when we are wearing so many hats, we have to be perfect in everything. We forget to live that moment, So, ladies out there, if you are going through this, don't feel embarrassed. Speak up. See a psychotherapist, see a therapist, see a psychiatrist, whatever, whichever person you think is going to help you, take the help. Because when you keep it to yourself and you bottle it up and sit in the dark rooms, nothing is going to happen. Because as we have been discussing, and we all know, if we need to speak, if we need to spit it out of the system, only that can help you. Because if you are not ready to take that step, or if you're not ready to look yourself in the mirror, how will other person look at you? If you're
correct.
not able to respect yourself, if you don't like what you're seeing in the mirror, how do you expect people, other people, who are secondary, third, or in different networks, they're going to respect you? So I think with change in times, with change in mindset, we should not feel embarrassed. We need to step forward and help such women or men or children. It could be anyone. I chose to get women leaders because we women are very vulnerable. But of course, I have been getting some requests from some of the people. Why are men not invited?
No, equally, I think as much as I'm here to empower women, I do the same with men. I have men clients as well,
Mhm.
honestly. And it works the same experience I've been through. It's the opposite is true, holds true. So I'm very neutral, and I'm happy to be in neutral Switzerland as well.
Same for me. I think health is important for men and women both, for all
Yeah,
of us. So it's the same for me. And I like to add that talking about perfection,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be perfect if you have one less clothing size, right? You are already perfect just as you are.
True.
You're already perfect, and everything in your life is happening at the right time. And if you're coming to a point that you want to make some changes, well, then that's the time for you.
yeah,
And no one should judge you or think less of you. And neither should we think less of anyone. We're
True.
all already perfect just where we are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One has to
absolutely.
be perfect. One has to be perfect in their own space and comfortable. Perfection comes as how you feel. It's a state of mind. If you see something, a dress that is very good fitting to you, you like it. Maybe other person doesn't like. But we don't have to look for social approvals all the time.
Exactly.
It's high time move out of those circles, like you can't please everyone. Just as you can't make everyone happy, you can't make everyone sufficiently satisfied with your work. So make yourself happy first. When you are comfortable in your shoes, when you like what you're seeing in the mirror, you can be of a big help to other people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not be a captive. Don't
Exactly.
prison yourself. Don't be a prisoner to your emotions.
Exactly, exactly. So, thank you so much, ladies. It was really, really wonderful talking to you. The discussion was really very, very heartwarming, sharing your stories, emotional side, then fun side, and then, how you're healing and how you healed people in your network. It's been
Yeah.
really great. Thank you so much for coming on the show and bearing your soul. Um,
Do.
it's always nice to hear from other people. Unfortunately, Sunita couldn't join due to technical glitches. There's always a next time. There is some positivity, so probably she's gonna be there next time. So all the best. Keep safe. Keep
Thank you.
healthy, as we always say.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
Thank
the
you very much.
opportunity. Lovely.
Take care. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
All the best. So, on that note, we come to the end of the session, having the discussion with these wonder women, Zalina and Tisha, all the way from their Netherlands and Switzerland. We learned something. We learned some golden nuggets of wisdom that it's always okay to let go. You can't be okay all the time. There are phases in life when you have the best things, there are phases in life when you are not going through your best. So, the answer to those questions lies within you. Accept the follies, accept the imperfections as they are, and speak up. Reach out. Reach out to your networks, men, women, children, whichever networks you feel comfortable, and speak up. Because if you don't speak up, you keep it bottled to yourself, life is not going to change. No therapist, no doctor can help you until you don't help yourself. So take that step. Try happiness in small things that you're doing. Try and find solace in small, beautiful things around you. And only when you do that, life is definitely going to be beautiful. On that note, thank you so much for being with me and with these lovely ladies. See you sometime soon. We have another wonderful women coming on the network. We have another people joining the show in some time. And when they are there, be prepared to ask your questions, be prepared to bear your soul because they are all there to help you. On that note, all the best, take care, and stay safe.